Time to bring the bass bird. So I'm going big.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Rodgers now on first down. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards right off the bat, and a quick first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
A 3rd-round pick out of LSU in the 2014 draft, guard Trey Turner quickly became one of the better players in the NFL. Agile, this guy can absolutely fly. The fastest offensive lineman at the 2014 Combine. You want some nastiness? Watch him at the point of attack. Agile, mobile, and hostile. That's Trey Turner.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 42. The numbers for him from a week ago, 6 catches, 60 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And this is taken in at the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They go play action here on first down. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Levine Toilolo, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here are the Ravens now under 12th-year coach John Harbaugh. They'll be led out by their Pro Bowl quarterback in his 8th season now in the league, Russell Wilson.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, Wilson. This will be caught by Brown. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Got him in. It's Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
It was Mike Hilton up to make the tackle. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the number 1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They go with Leonard Fournette, third-year back from LSU. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. On the screen, Bernard. Nifty move. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And Thomas has it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Rodgers now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This is caught. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you've got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they've got the hookup. This is Olsen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. Pass, there he goes, right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see What I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
I want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Looking for Edelman, and he hits him. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side, able to get a hand in.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. Over the middle here to Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson, and it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run. This is White. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Second down and goal. Wilson. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there.
So the first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They go play action with Wilson. He'll buy some time right. On the crossing route, complete. It's Brown. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Play action. Now Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White, and he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They go play action now. Wilson. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The end result, 21 yards.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. Got it.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get this started up in Orchard Park, an AFC's matchup with the Jets in town to take on Buffalo. And it's the Jets who are out in front as that game's gone to the intermission. Jordan Howard, a touchdown run in that first half. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Nelson Aguilar, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. A couple of touchdown passes there for Josh Rosen. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys lead it at the break as we send you back up to Baltimore and Brandon Godden. Brandon.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They'll run again with Bernard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That second down play nets a -4. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That's complete. Bernard. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Trying to force it into Edelman there. Third down here. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Wilson got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Here's Wilson to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a first down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Wilson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Wilson, it's complete. James White. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a pass here caught by Edelman, and a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good pickup there at 22. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. Now Wilson, he'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. In for the score. And the Ravens cut into that lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Fournette running out of the gun. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On second down, here's Fournette. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. Back now in Baltimore as we're about ready to rock and roll for the fourth and final quarter. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Got him in. It's Brown. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling. Don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown.
And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. And this will be taken at the 13.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. The Steelers on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And this certainly confirms all the chatter. How big of a Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Leonard Fournette. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson finding Green complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
On second and 7, Wilson toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Play action. It's Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Fournette, a first down carry. 20! And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Leonard Fournette with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the interception by the Steeler D leads to a touchdown. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
And the Ravens taking the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's go out here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They'll get 34 yards there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Wilson going to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. Green brings it in. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Malik Hooker. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Fournette. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. This is Fournette. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, watch this, watch this.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.
So
and New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. This team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, All y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one. And when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast. Cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.